Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on the time zone. Now, during the protest, there is a question that the Jubilee Secretary General, Hassan Omar, came out to ask Kenyans in a press briefing. What has Ruto done to you that is so bad that you sincerely feel that he is incapable of leadership? He was very emotional when he was asking this question to Kenyans. But again, if you listen to the entire clip, you learn that Hassan Omar went to an extent of addressing a certain community. He went further to address certain leaders from that very same community. So the press briefing had a reason. And with the choice of words that Hassan Omar used, it was also for a reason. He is concluding that propaganda is running the country to destruction. And who are these propagandists? The person that is addressing in the video without necessarily mentioning them directly. And therefore, in conclusion, his position is that those who are leading the protest should just wait for 2027. That's why he's asking, why don't you just wait for 2027 and exercise your democratic right? Not now. So I want to listen to Hassan Omar's statement. Then from there, we will go deeper into the discussion to understand who was his target and the intention of all this.
We have gotten to that point in our lives when we must say enough is enough. Munaharibu nchi bana. Throughout. Ni nyinyi tu mnang'oa infrastructure. Ni nyinyi mnaibia watu. Kwani Ruto aliwafanya nini? What has Ruto done to you? That is so bad. That if you sincerely feel he is incapable of leadership, why don't you just wait for 2027 and exercise your democratic right? Go where? Which passing cloud? Do what? There is a constitutional transition in this country.
Now, I want us to continue with the panel discussion, but before we do that, I have a quick and humble request. For those who are watching this channel and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to our discussion. Now, there is something happening here. When you listen to Hassan Omar, we all know what is going on in this country. The fuel price has gone high, and this has angered Kenyans. Uhuru used to give Kenyans a subsidy that if the price has to sell for 200 shillings, and the Kenyans cannot afford, Uhuru will pay 30 bob, and the Kenyans will pay 170 in a petrol pump. And you get fuel. But for William Ruto, he has no mercy, no sympathy for any Kenyan. In fact, they behave as if they are collecting money for campaign. That is the difference. And so, with Hassan Omar's statement, I see a man who has been directed to come to the public and play the victim role. Now, they want to paint it like William Ruto is a victim He's a victim who has been targeted. And he has not been targeted by all Kenyans. It is certain community that has targeted William Ruto. So even out of protest, where they have made their life so much difficult for Kenyans, where Kenyans should receive sympathy, Ruto and his team is trying to evoke the emotions of Kenyans to get sympathy. They're even looking sympathy out of protest, where Kenyans are also being brutalized and arrested. But for them, they even look sympathy from there. That is exactly what Hassan Omar has been directed to come and do in the media as the UDA Secretary General. Kimona akiongea, you see, he's trying to bring the emotion even in that pressure. And with that emotion, he even wants people to sympathize with this regime and President Ruto. But who should get sympathy? It is a common mwananchi that cannot afford higher price being charged as a bus fare from one point to the other, and you are forced to go to the work footing. Kwanza magari yamegoma, hakuna gari utapanda. Cha pili nafaa uende kazini. Je, ya kwenda kazini? You go footing. So, most Kenyans struggle to get to duty. There's no vehicle. They have endured pain, walking long distance, because there was no means of transport. And if there will be means of transport, it is very expensive. And once it is expensive, some who cannot afford it, inabidi wende mguu. So who should get sympathy? Alafu kwa wale wa matatu, hawasimamishi tu magari kwa sababu eti bei ama gharama mafuta imeenda juu. Ni kwa sababu pia wapati wateja wa kutosha. Because Kenyans would choose, sasa hapa si kama ni kutembea hii muda yote na hii mwendo kwa kiwango kikubwa cha pesa, let me put my money in the pocket, nitembee tu, alafu itanifanyia kazi ingine. Look at that. So who should get sympathy? Kenyans. But President Ruto, through his allies, is trying to harvest sympathy from where they should not even think of getting sympathy from. Yani hawataki hawafai hata wafikirie kuhusu kuhurumiwa. Lakini hawa wamekuja kutumia lugha ambayo italeta ile hali ya watu kuwahurumia, when indeed they are the problem. So the issue of playing victim role cannot work for now, because the focus of Kenyans is on how this government is treating them, not how certain communities are treating President Ruto, not how some leaders from certain communities are treating President Ruto. That should go to Hassan Omar very clearly. He should be very, very much aware of that. So let them stop playing the issue of victim role and focus on listening to Kenyans, offering solution to the problems being raised by Kenyans. That will be leadership. But what they are doing, it is just also another group playing propaganda, like what they are saying, that propaganda is running the country to destruction. Even though Hassan Omar anasema, so if there is someone running propaganda in this country, then that person is the UDA SG Hassan Omar. Kama kuna serikali ambayo inazunguka na propaganda, ni serikali ya Mheshimiwa William Ruto. Hiyo ndio ukweli wa mambo. Lakini hapa wanakuja wajifiche kwa ndani ya Wakenya, kuja na statement to mislead Kenyans that, oh, it is just Kikuyus who are fighting this government, it is Uhuru Kenyatta, it is Gachagua, it is this community. So you want to isolate our community. That wao walikuja wakatunyang'anya mashamba yetu, leo hiyo wameanza vita, wanasema Ruto is a passing cloud. So they are turning this protest war to a community, when we knew there was protest in Kakamega, in Kisumu, in Nairobi. Na Nairobi kwani ni Wakikuyu peke yake wako Nairobi? Kuna Wajaluo, kuna Waluya. Ndio maana unapata senator ni Mluya, governor ni Mluya, saa zingine governor ni Mjaluo. Mambo kama haya, wabunge wako huko wengi. So you can't do that. It cannot work.